Today on Geeks of the Movies is the fall TV show preview spectacular! Alright, Geek fans, it's that time again. It's 4:30, it's Friday, and we're shooting at the luxurious Goodrich Studios International, and this is Geeks at the Movies. My name is Shane Goodrich, I'll be your host this evening, and joining me, as always, our illustrious writer, the Mr. Jacob Desitels.
What's going on, guys? We have a lot of things to talk about today, specifically TV shows. There's so many that come out every year. I have engulfed myself in just television. I have so many shows that I watch, but we have to match what we watch here at Geeks in the Movies. So what are we talking about first?
Well, let's let you know what we're not talking about is we're not talking about the vast majority of TV shows out there.
Yeah.
This is not an exhaustive list. We're just a couple dudes. This is shows that we know we're going to watch or we've already seen before, and we might not be watching them, but we'll tell you why because we know about them. Let's just get to start right away with our bread and butter comic book shows. CW's comic book lineup is crazy this fall. They got Supergirl now. So they have Supergirl, they have Legends of Tomorrow, they have Arrow, and they have The Flash. Apparently it's now going to all be a shared universe.
Yeah.
Something happened on Flash, everything's shared, who knows. Jacob, why don't you just start with this, because I think you're more positive than me, at least in some aspects.
Yes, I'm more positive because while you hate most of it, I like The Flash at least. Because I used to love Arrow, it's just fallen, it's gone off the deep end. There's no hope for it anymore. Supergirl, I liked parts of the first season. It was okay, but I'm probably not gonna. I'm gonna check out the second season just to see Superman, see how that works out. But I probably won't watch all of it. And then Legends of Tomorrow, shit show. I don't care about it. And then The Flash, I really like The Flash, but I'm also worried about the third season. We're going to have spoilers in this episode.
Yes.
We have to talk about what happens in these shows. So if you haven't seen them and you plan on watching them, just be warned that we're talking about spoilers.
We have to talk about what's happened on the shows.
Yeah.
Make predictions about what's to come.
Yes. So at the end of The Flash, I know you haven't watched all of it, but you don't.
I already know it.
Yeah. You know what happens.
We just gave the warning, Jacob. Yes. I'm part of the warning.
Yes, but I know you haven't watched all of it. So then at the end of The Flash, Barry makes the very strange and just out of nowhere decision to run back in time and save his mother after all the warnings that were given to him throughout the entire first two seasons of the show. He does it anyways, he doesn't give a fuck. He just goes back, changes the timeline, and then, so now going into season 3, it's going to be like a Flashpoint type of storyline. Yeah, if you've seen the movie or read the comic book, it's about this, he goes back, saves his mother, and then everything's changed in the future. He's not the Flash anymore, he doesn't have his powers. So I'm thinking it's going to be like that, and I think they've confirmed that when he goes back into the future, I can't remember the character's name, Wally West, he is now the Flash. So he's going to come back in time, he's going to be a new Flash, he's probably not going to be the Flash anymore. All this crazy stuff's going to go on, but I'm worried because that decision at the end of season 2 didn't make any sense at all. It just came out of nowhere. So I'm going to remain hopeful for it, but just because I've liked the first two seasons so much, but I'm going to remain cautiously optimistic going in.
So I didn't see the last episode, or I think the episode before the last. And the reason why is that as I started becoming less interested in The Flash, it felt to me like it was doing things like that Arrow does. Mm-hmm. It's only 2 seasons, but it already started to feel repetitive. Uh-huh. And now I hear in the next season of Flash, there's going to be more speedsters.
Yep.
More speedsters. Can't they have a variety of enemies? And it seems like there's going to be more repetition. Yes. Well, it's like Arrow. They have these repeating storylines. In the case of Arrow, it's, my city's threatened by some guy that runs a secret organization, some kind of secret organization, right? That happens too many times, and I see the quality of the other shows. I mean, Arrow just, like you said, it went off the deep end. The writing was ridiculous last season. That final episode where Arrow is facing down the other guy, Damien Dark, and it's a fist fight.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. And then Damien Dark's henchmen with their machine guns say, "Hey, cool, let's do it. We'll join in this fist fight." It was so bizarre. It's just the writing is all over the place. Supergirl, I have mixed feelings about because there's some episodes I really actually enjoyed Supergirl, and then other episodes I was like, oh, this is just boring, or I don't want to watch this. Legends of Tomorrow, like you said, to me was always a hot mess. But what I feel like now is the people that are controlling this, like they started the Flash, they started Arrow, they started Supergirl. They're taking on too much. They're spreading themselves thin. I remember when Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, decided to create American Dad, and then he decided to create the Cleveland Show. But he was involved in all of them. But they all had similar kind of humor and stuff, so it weakened all the shows. So here, the guy that starts Arrow, he's like, I'm just doing Arrow. Oh, now I'm doing Flash too. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do Supergirl. I mean, it's just too much, and I feel it's gonna be a mess. Yeah, that's what I feel like. It's gonna be a mess. Yeah.
Then I'm going to end up watching. I'm going to end up seeing Arrow, Legend of Tomorrow, and Supergirl because they're going to do some crazy crossover episode.
Yes.
So I'm going to judge how those shows are doing based off of that. So, but that's probably just me a major, just big whole hot mess. But
the Flash and Supergirl crossover I thought was a hot mess.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. I like seeing Flash and Supergirl together, but everything else was just horrible. But then but
like how they had to be saved by firemen.
Yes, they had to be. The firemen were the real heroes of the day. Not all heroes wear capes. But then the Flash, I feel like, is the connective tissue of this universe, though, because he can actually run between dimensions and things like that. So I feel like he's the thing that keeps everything together. But if that show falls apart, then I'm just gonna be completely gone.
Yes, that's the problem. The thing that Flash always had over the other shows, I felt like definitely over Arrow. Supergirl had some of this sometime, but again, it was hit and miss. Was Flash, the characters, when they're not doing superhero stuff, felt real to me. Like they had real emotions and they actually knew each other. Whereas like an Arrow, these people, it's like they are created to serve a role. They're not real people. So one moment, oh, we're good friends. Next moment, oh, I hate you so much. But it doesn't feel natural or organic. It just happens.
Yeah, every single episode in Arrow, they have an argument. They go, hey, can I talk to you for a second? They go into a corner and have this argument. And then it gets resolved by the next episode.
Yes. So and then the argument happens again.
Yes, it just goes over and over again. It's awful. But then in Flash, I feel like like you said, they're actual people.
Yes.
And they actually have like real human moments.
Yes. That if they could bring that to some other shows, I don't see it happening. That would be great, but it's going to be really difficult to resolve. 4 different shows. They actually have to serve different storylines, but the storylines have to kind of intertwine. That's a complicated thing. That's difficult to do, and we're coming up shortly to a channel that is pulling it off, I think.
Yes.
But I don't think CW is going to be able to pull it off.
No, me either.
So now let's move on to the channel I think is pulling it off. That's Netflix. And they're pulling it off with the Defenders series. Yes. There's a series of shows. What are the characters? Jessica Jones,
Daredevil, Iron Fist, and then what's coming out right now in September, Luke Cage. And right now they've each had their own individual series. Luke Cage and Iron Fist are coming up. Luke Cage first. Daredevil has 2 seasons, but it's been great so far. And what we've seen from Luke Cage looks fantastic. Luke Cage has a little bit of a different spin in their shows. It takes place in Harlem. It features a predominantly black cast, but it feels great. The quality feels good. The writing seems strong based on the trailers. And I just want to learn more about the Netflix Marvel Universe. That's what I want to learn more about. Yeah, because the Marvel Universe is great in itself. All these like people that are basically gods, going around being superheroes. But then you take it down to like the street level, and you have these street level heroes like Daredevil, who has very he has powers, but those aren't like his what the series is focused on.
Right, they can't focus. These characters all have powers. But like you said, they're street level 1 for cost reasons.
Yes.
They can't be fighting off aliens. They can't do it. They don't have the budget. And another is because a lot of their powers aren't they're not Hulk. Yeah. They're not Vision. They're not at that level. And they don't have the fame of like a Captain America who's controlling a whole bun's of other people. They're on the ground. They're on the street. They're helping fight petty crime day to day. They're doing what they can.
Yeah, and I think that works the best for these shows because. Yes. I like seeing the underground of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So with Luke Cage, I'm very excited to see it because, like you said, it's a very different feeling show. It has a predominantly black cast, and I'm gonna be excited to see a different side of the underworld part, because we got to see the Kingpin in Daredevil. Now we get to see I think his name's Cottonmouth in Luke Cage, and then I think I don't think this is coming out until next year or at the end of this year. Iron Fist. That's going to be another very different show, because that's going to introduce mystical elements, I think, to it. But we get to see Doctor Strange coming out in November, so I think that's going to introduce the whole magical side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But I still think when I say Netflix Marvel Universe, I really see a separation.
Yeah, I know. There definitely is a separation. Like, they're supposed to be the same universe, but really they don't mention each other.
No, it's very sporadic. They occasionally give brief nods, but that doesn't bother me, because the other thing I like about the Netflix universe is the tone. I like a darker tone. And I like how it's more gritty. It feels more real. Now, that's not to say I don't like the MCU and its over the top aspects. That's great. But one thing you have to focus on when you're on these shows is budget. Mm-hmm. And this is the problem with CW. They try too hard to get these characters that they really can't handle. The Flash is a god. Mm-hmm. Well, once he gets like time traveling speed, he becomes this ridiculously powerful character. Mm-hmm. That's really hard to do. Yeah. Arrow was smart originally. Yeah, They tried keeping it, low level, street level, but then it got too out of control. Legends of Tomorrow was a whole time travel show. That's way beyond the scope of what they can afford. Mm-hmm. Supergirl, again, that's beyond the scope of really what they can afford. Though they've done pretty well. Some of the special effects I saw back with around CBS. Yeah. But Netflix, they know what they can do. They have the budget for it. And I'm just excited. Watch Luke Cage. Yeah. You'll like it. And then watch Daredevil and Jessica Jones. Or just watch them first. Yeah.
Yes, and next year we're going to get the Defenders, where they all come together. So I'm really excited to see that. But first, I'm excited to see Luke Cage and Iron Fist in their own shows.
Yeah, Defenders, 2 thumbs up. Now let's move on to some other Netflix shows. These I don't really watch these, but Jacob's really into them. The first is Rebels.
Yes, Star Wars Rebels. I'm the big Star Wars fan here. I love it. And Rebels was a show that I didn't really like that much at first, honestly. Like, yeah, I like that it brought back, Star Wars before The Force Awakens had come out. So I got to go back into that world. The first half of season 1 wasn't that great. In the second half, it started to get really good. And season 2, I just loved all the way through. So now I'm really excited for season 3, because they're bringing in even more old aspects that they had currently gotten rid of. They had made those things Legends, where it's not part of the Star Wars universe anymore, but now they're bringing them back and putting them back into canon. And the big thing is Grand Admiral Thrawn. If you ever read the Thrawn trilogy, it was a trilogy of books that a lot of the really old Star Wars fans, they really liked when they read the expanded universe stuff. But now they're bringing that character back into Rebels, and I think he's going to be a very great villain for the series. But
to tell me something, let me pause you there for a moment. What is the tone of Rebels? What's its rating? What kind of show? What's the target audience? I know Star Wars fans will watch anything, but what's kind of the target audience?
Well, see, the reason I didn't like the first half of season 1, because it was it was more aimed towards the 10, 11-year-olds, like that sort of audience. But as it went along, it got a lot more darker, a lot more serious. While still having, it became more of a, like Pixar does, like family show.
Okay, so it's something for everybody. Yes. It's not gonna have a lot of brutal violence or swearing. It's not gonna have that.
It has some brutal violence, but it doesn't show any like blood or gore. Or anything, okay. But people die.
But it's taken seriously, the material. Yeah. It's like the content is there. There's like like you said, like a Pixar film.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it has a lot of really good tones like that, and now I like how they actually have the characters evolve, because in season 3 we're going to get to see Ezra, the main character, actually start to turn more towards the dark side of the Force, and he has a new lightsaber now. It's green, because they actually changed how the whole thing behind lightsaber colors, like when they find their crystal for the lightsaber, actually the color depends on the person who finds it. So like if they're strong with the Force, but they're more combat based, it's blue. If they're more Force based, it's green. If they're riding the line between light and dark, it's purple. So I really like that whole aspect, and now that
wait, so that means Mace Windu was
the whole thing like that he's actually like he's a what they call a gray Jedi who he's riding the line between the light and dark, but he is very devoted to the Jedi Order, so he's not really a gray Jedi.
All right,
I know there's a lot of just
let's not get too deep into that.
I wasn't trying to, but you made me. But I'm really excited for Rebels season 3. They're gonna have all these characters return. Darth Vader's coming back. They're probably gonna have the Emperor Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars. Big spoiler here. Darth Maul, he's coming back. I really like that. I really liked his appearance in the last season. So if Rebels season 3 goes along with what they did in season 2 and takes it even further, I'm gonna enjoy it.
I hope the one thing that doesn't come back is the flies. Like, damn flies in the studio come back.
Yes.
I hate those flies. Damn flies. As soon as the summer's over, though, they'll all be gone. I'll crush them. Okay, what's the other show you wanted to talk about? American Horror Story.
Yes.
What is that?
Okay, so
American Horror Story?
That's a show that's been very hit and miss for me. It's a anthology horror series where every season is about a new story. The first season was Murder House. That was a very good season. It also was very kind of just strange, and there's a lot of what I call teen angst stuff in there. I didn't like that part of it. But then season 2 was my favorite season. That was Asylum. It was in. Obviously took place in an asylum, but there was also this alien background story, and also basically a character that was possessed by the devil in that. It had a lot of very weird
the
stuff.
show is already. I'm confused already.
I know that season was the craziest season, but that's why it was my favorite. Season 3, Coven, was one with the witches. It was okay, wasn't great. Same with season 4, Freak Show.
Damn, what season is this now?
We're talking about season 6. Season 5 was probably my second favorite season. That was a hotel. I actually had Lady Gaga as one of the main characters, but she did a very good job, I thought.
Interesting.
But that was a really good season.
So each season is completely separated.
Yes, but starting in season 4 with Freak Show, they actually started connecting it and bringing characters from other seasons back into the show. So, but now they haven't said what season 6 is going to be about, and it comes out in 2 weeks. They haven't said what the title is yet.
Okay.
And they've released some very strange and confusing teasers where some people are saying it's going to be like an apocalypse show because they have
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah,
after the world has ended, the bombs have gone off or something.
Yeah, because they have this one teaser with these weird creatures running around, and then this other teaser with this family standing in the field, and they have glowing eyes. So I'm not really sure what season 6 is going to be about. I can't really talk about that much, obviously, but
you're excited.
I am excited.
You're excited.
Yes, and they're gonna have the whole because each season they have the same cast come back and play different characters because it takes.
Wait, hold on. I don't want to get too into this. I don't want to get. Let's not get sidetracked.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm excited for season 6, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen in it.
Excellent. Now let's move on to some stuff I can talk a bit about. Legion. Mm-hmm. This is apparently going to be in the actual X-Men universe, according to Bryan Singer.
Yep.
It's about Xavier's son, right? Yep. Legion, who has a bunch of different powers. He has multiple personality disorder, and when he goes into a different personality, he has that different power for that personality. Yes, and
in the trailer for the show, it showed that he actually doesn't think that he's a mutant. He thinks he's just insane. So I'm excited to see this smaller sort of piece of the X-Men universe, but they also said that the show could stand on its own, so it doesn't really matter that it's connected to the X-Men universe.
That's what I think. It feels like Bryan Singer is saying that
he just wants people to people that have watched his movies to watch this show.
Right. I'm not excited because I want an X-Men show that has X-Men.
Yeah.
even if it's the B Team X-Men, that'd be fine. But this, based on the trailer that I saw, there was no connection to the X-Men universe. There was no, like, mutants were a thing, but even that was like, you could just use a different word. It didn't matter that you used the word mutant.
Yeah.
So I'm not too excited about it. Also, I'm concerned about the character and his powers. Because you said he has all kinds of powers, right? But again, it's a TV show. Their budget is only what it is. Can they actually pull this off and make me go, oh, this is awesome? Or am I going to be watching episodes going, oh, look, he has this really lame power because that's all they can have. Oh, he can do this and it's really basic.
What I liked about the trailer was that it showed that it's kind of going to kind of be like an indie X-Men film. So because like he has all these different powers, but I hope that they don't capitalize on that. I hope that they just capitalize on this guy, that he has a multiple personality disorder.
And then the powers are just another tidbit of the story.
Yeah,
it's not the focus. The focus of the story is this man with the mental illness and who knows what's happening. And there's this interesting side element.
Yeah, that's what I hope is going to happen.
See, to me though, that's a different movie than a different TV show entirely than what I want when it comes to X-Men.
Yeah,
that doesn't need. Why is X-Men even attached to it? Except for the fact that we'll shove the X-Men name in there. We'll get that cachet. You could easily just say, we're introducing a character. He has multiple personalities. Each personality has a different power. It doesn't have to be called Legion. It can be called anything.
Yeah,
but
that's true. I'm hopeful because FX, which is the channel that this show is on, is that they've constantly churned out great shows.
That's true. You're right. This isn't like it's on CBS or ABC. This is on a higher quality channel.
Yeah, it's by the guy that made Fargo. I know you liked elements of Fargo. You didn't like the both seasons overall though. But
no, I liked them both overall.
Okay. Yeah, but you didn't like them as much as I did.
Of course. You thought that they're great shows of all time.
Yeah. But then FX American Horror Story is also on FX, and I like that show. And then they used to have the Shield and Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, so
they've had quality programming. So it's not like it's on a network, which we've bashed in the past.
Yeah,
the networks they got a lot of problems. I mean, they talked about that Star Wars show that might be on networks. They're thinking about it. And that makes me really worried that networks aren't gonna be able to pull it off. Where FX might be able to do it more justice. Now let's move on to a big one.
Yes,
The Walking Dead season
7.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh my God. So we saw the end of season 6. Negan, the new big bad, he's captured Rick and a bunch of his crew, and he's going to kill somebody. We don't know who it is yet. They gave a cliffhanger that no one liked. They got pissed off about. We saw some previews for the upcoming season. There's going to be a tiger, Ezekiel and his tiger, which looks awesome. But other than that, I am burnt out on The Walking Dead.
I'm starting to get there too. Because last season I actually remember 2 seasons ago I was starting to just lose interest entirely in the show, but then they started introducing elements from the comics that I like, so I continue to watch it. But now I just don't really care that much anymore.
Right.
Because they have interesting elements, but it's all just the same story over and over again.
Yes, it's always the story of Rick and his crew facing up against another crew, like the governor was like the start of this. And then it keeps kind of recycling, and then there's other factions, and the wolves, and they gotta fight the wolves, and they gotta fight Negan's guys. And it's also repetitive in the sense of there's so many close calls. Oh my God, they're almost dead. No, they pulled through. Yeah. Woo! Okay, first time that happens, you're like, wow, that was gripping.
Yeah.
But more it happens, more you just we know Daryl's not gonna die. Who cares?
Yeah.
We know Rick's not gonna die. Who cares? Right? Yeah. And then the new characters are introduced. You're like, I don't care if that new character dies anyway. I don't care. And a lot of the characters now, I actually stopped liking. So there's less and less characters I actually like now. For example, Glenn. I used to like that. He was one of my favorite characters. But over time, through all there's so much melodrama and soap opera style drama in the show where I start to get annoyed by the characters. So Maggie and Glenn's relationship, I roll my eyes now when they're talking. I was never like that before. It's just so much of the characters. I've lost interest in. I've lost interest in the dramatic tension because I'm like the writers have whoever the overlords are of Walking Dead have said, we're not ending this. We're just going to keep going as long as we can. So no dramatic tension there.
Yeah.
There's no end point. There's no end goal. And also, they've gotten completely away from the first season's focus on realism.
Yes.
The first season was like, what would happen if a zombie apocalypse actually happened and this guy was in a coma and woke up? And it was, wow, it was really good. But as they've gone away from the first season, it's become more and more just fantasy. The zombies make less and less sense. The characters that make less and less sense. The little things bother me. Like, okay, you're going to a battle with a bunch of zombies. You know you're going to do this. And no one still wears body armor?
Yeah.
No one still bothers doing that or getting prepared. I mean, it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, what I liked about the first 2 seasons were that it was about a story of survival.
Yeah.
And now they have their own community. And,
there's a bunch of communities, bunch of survivors.
They're all forming together. So they're obviously not going to go back to that. And that's what I like the most about The Walking Dead. Was
When they're on the run, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and they're not actually fighting other people. They're just trying to survive themselves.
See, the thing with the fighting other people, I would like it more if they toned down the zombie aspect. So this is a weird thing. So I think the zombies at this point, these people that have survived, they used to ask Rick asked a question, how many people have you killed? How many walkers have you killed? And it's like, well, you need to be able to kill walkers. At this point, first of all, it's becoming less and less plausible that they come across these naive people. Oh, I've never killed a walker in my life. It's like, really? How did you survive this long? So that becomes less plausible. So at this point, it's like, survival of the fittest. The people that are able to survive the zombie apocalypse have survived the zombie apocalypse, which also makes it less realistic when they die for the stupidest reasons.
Yeah.
Like the episode with Morgan, where the badass bow guy pushes him out of the way and turns his back to the zombie so he can get bit.
Yeah.
It's like, at this point, you know not to do that. It's just silly. I think the zombies should just be used as a chaos element now.
Yeah.
Right? So, the humans are the threat. They're the real threat, are the humans. And it's a battle over the factions, and the zombies just randomly come in out of nowhere. Holy shit, we're in the middle of a battle, and now our herd's walking through. Or holy shit, we killed like 10 people, an hour ago in this firefight. Now they're starting to rise.
Yeah.
Right? They should be, but they're still often too much used, I feel like, as the main threat. When at this point, they've shown how badass they are at killing zombies. So when you see them being super badass at killing dozens of zombies, headshot, 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 and then suddenly, oh my god, there's 2 zombies! Ah! It doesn't make sense. It's hard to buy.
Yeah, they do that over and over again in the show, and it just...
They'll make them super awesome, and then they'll make them completely incompetent.
Yeah, what I like about the zombies is that they're mainly just obstacles. That's what I want them to be.
Right.
But they actually make them, kill people in the show, and it doesn't make any sense because these people should know how to behave around.
Yeah, the
zombies.
walkers. They should know how to deal with the walkers right now. There's still too many deaths, I feel, from walkers. There should be more from the men, or it should be a combination where they're fighting the other people and the walkers. Then they can't. Then they're surprised because they're in a firefight.
Yeah.
Not we're just hanging out here. We decided never to turn around ever once. There's a walker coming up towards me. I know about how I should look around and make sure I can see my surroundings, but I haven't bothered. Yep, I'm gonna take a nap here. No. I mean, they do some dumb stuff sometimes.
Things like that would be acceptable if it was after a while where they started to let their guard down because they became more comfortable in their new communities.
Yeah.
And that would be acceptable, and then that would bring up a whole new element in the show where they have to start being more self-aware again.
Yes, and I think one of the reasons why that doesn't happen is because the walkers are the same. They have consistently been the same threat. Like originally in some of the earlier seasons of the show, they implied, actually no, they flat out said in one episode, the walkers they do starve to death.
Yeah.
They actually said it in one episode. The governor asked, why are they still moving with their heads cut off? And then that scientist guy was like, oh, they starve too, but it's just slower than us. Kind of like 28 days later.
Yeah.
But the walkers don't starve. The walkers don't die.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. You see them all rotting. It's like, really? You can keep That's because there's no more science. It's magic.
Yeah. And I know that they're probably never going to explain the whole virus thing. And
they've gone away from that.
Yeah, and that's what interested me the most. That was like a thing that I knew that they were going to hold on to for a while, but I thought that they would eventually go back to it. but they're not,
It
obviously.
feels like it's fantasy now. There's no virus because they don't have it's like Walking Dead is a show that I'm gonna watch this next season because it's so popular. And there's gonna be some episodes I'm probably gonna really love.
And there's gonna be a tiger that we're all gonna love.
They're all gonna love, definitely.
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be a bunch of episodes where we're gonna be like, this is boring, this is repetitive, or it's gonna be classic. It's gonna be a couple amazing episodes, and then a big slowdown because they don't have the budget. But they keep making more episodes per season.
Yeah, it's like 16 episodes per season now. It's awful.
Oh yeah.
And I would like it if it was at least 13 episodes. That would get rid of at least
a few.
Some of those filler episodes.
Yeah. So we're not that excited about Walking Dead, but we're still gonna watch it. We'll tell you what we think. Maybe it'll get better, but I'm thinking it's just gonna be doing this. It's gonna be kind of doing this. But now let's move on to another show that we are looking forward to very much. That is the second season of Man in the High Castle. This is the counterfactual history show where the Nazis and the Japanese Empire have won World War II, and now we live in America where half it's occupied by the Nazis, half occupied by the Japanese, and it is amazing.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I remember you after a while you got me to watch this show. And I remember I wasn't super into the first couple episodes, but as I watched it, it just got better and better. And this is a case where less is more because it's 10 episodes and it fits perfectly.
Right, that's right, exactly. Less is more because there's no filler.
Yeah,
all slow build.
Yes, and I want to talk about a little bit of spoilers for this show too. At the end of the show, when you don't know if you've seen the Man in the High Castle or not.
Right.
Because they show Hitler and he's in a castle.
And it's in the Austrian Alps.
Yeah.
But is he the Man in the High Castle?
And he's the person getting the tapes too. So we don't actually know. That whole aspect is just fascinating to me.
Right. Yeah. Is he the Man in the High Castle, or is that just a swerve?
Yeah, I don't know but I'm hoping we find out in season 2 if he really is the Man in the High Castle or not, because we've been waiting for the show for a while because Amazon, they don't have I don't think they really have the same budget as Netflix does, so they take a while to make their shows. But
Amazon is a huge company, but I don't know how much they put towards their budget.
Yeah, that's what I meant. For season 2, and also the real stinger at the end of season 1. Where the guy actually sees, the
Japanese trade minister. He's sitting in a bench, but suddenly the world changes to how it actually was, but on our timeline.
Yeah.
Where Americans have won World War II.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah, what is happening in the show? Like, is it like a real fantasy thing, or is it a science fiction type of explanation? We don't really know what's happening here.
And the tapes themselves reveal something, because the earlier tapes, they showed the Germans, first they found tapes that showed the Americans winning, just like it happened based on our own history.
Yes.
But then they found these other tapes that were also different from our timeline, but in a different way. So, like, even the tapes feel like they're maybe contradicting each other. So it's very strange.
Yeah, it's like there's multiple
universes, possibly. Yeah. There might be multiple realities, and the tapes are from. I can't even speculate.
Yeah, because it's just so. Yeah, like how did they get those tapes in the first place?
And then the Man in the High Castle, and that last scene where. Is he seeing the world change?
Yeah.
Is he imagining it?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in this show. It's just so crazy. There's so many aspects that don't make any sense, but we want to know what's actually going on there.
And here's another key thing about it. We're talking to you about this. If you haven't seen the show, you might be like, "Oh man, this show must be really confusing and hard to follow." No, it's not at all. It's very straightforward.
It's very straightforward. There's just these
elements.
Elements that they just like put out in front of you, and you're like, that doesn't make it. What just happened? What
just happened?
What did I just watch? I want to know. Yeah.
I mean, there's that video, like one of the main characters, Joe Blake. He's shown in video where he's in Nazi uniform. I mean, there's really, really odd. It just these little pieces that they sprinkle throughout. You're like, that's weird. Yeah. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I remember when I first started watching the show, I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. It's a, you know, it's like what would the what would America be like if the Nazis won? And then it's like that was enough for me. Then they started adding in all the stuff with the tapes and everything. Yes. And I was like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah, because I remember when I first watched it, I just thought this was a what if, a counterfactual history. Like, you know, if the South won World War the Civil War, and in this case, if the Nazis won World War II, I'm like, oh, as a history guy, that's all I need. But then slowly, as I'm watching, I'm like, is there sci-fi elements in this? What? Is this like is there some science fiction going on here? And at the end, it seems like, yeah, maybe. And
it's like, or is it even, you know, like fantasy? Because we don't know.
I don't know what's happening in the show, really. Yeah. But that's what I like about that. First of all, the storyline's easy to follow. We know what's happened in the first season. There was a plot against Hitler to remove him from power. They say Hitler's becoming weak. He wants to make peace with the Japanese Pacific states. And right now, the Nazi states, they have their technology is way far beyond them. They have the nuclear bomb. There's this whole plot to try to get them to fight. That falls through. Gruppenführer Smith, eventually, who's a leader in the Nazi party, eventually gets to a fight with Gruppenführer Heinrich. Names are ridiculous, but it makes it even more awesome. Yeah. And there's all these little elements I'm interested in. For example, I'm interested in his son. His son is diagnosed with a terrible disease, and by Nazi policy, oh, you're gonna die, so you should be killed. Euthanasia. Here's how you treat your son with this injection of morphine, killing heart pill. I know it's terrible, right? There's so many elements. I'm excited. Yes. I don't want to keep babbling because I'm too excited about it.
Yeah, me too. I just can't wait. It comes out in December, I think. Out of all these shows, one we have to wait for the longest, but it'll be worth the wait.
Yeah, very excited. And if you're interested in both like a historical drama, you'll be interested in this. If you're interested in shows that have maybe a light science fiction spin, but maybe it'll be more than light in the next season. Who knows?
Yeah.
Just check it. It's a good show, well written, great cast. It's good stuff. But it looks like, Jacob, that's the end of our preview.
Yes, it is.
It's sad but true. Where can they get more Geeks of the Movie content?
You can find exclusive Geeks of the Movie content on our YouTube channel. You can find us on Facebook, Geeks of the Movies, and Twitter at Geeks at the Movie.
And you can email us at geeksatthemovies.ct@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Write in the comments below. Click that like button. Tell us what you want to hear. Either way, my name is Shane Goodrich. This is
Jacob Visitels.
And we've been Geeks of the Movies. Ding, 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 ding.
Don't forget to pay those union dues.
It's great to see you all here. All right. That's something. And from the scaffold I will say, justice for all!